enter into a large circular room with glass observation tanks lining the walls, with many interesting and potentially important-looking things inside. Aside from the tanks, however, there are various doors and hallways branching off from the central room, most of which are completely blocked off for construction. Of these, there is a food court, which is completely blocked off, as well as a hallway leading to a partially finished gift shop area. You can also see a door leading to what appear to be restrooms, and there's a hallway with a door at the end marked Maintenance Staff Only. There are a few strange small robots wandering around. They have blue bodies, extremely large yellow cylindrical heads, big eyes, and mouths that are just in various different expressions based on what they're doing. They're doing kind of just inane tasks like carrying around, moving debris around, carrying buckets of paint, just kind of trying to help work on the construction of the building.
Can I
use the restroom?
Yeah, I
the
nudge
restroom. All right.
Cliffy and I point at the bathroom and I say, "That's for you, bud."
I think the moment's passed, but I'll keep that in mind. Can I rely on my deep well of engineering knowledge to discern anything about the particular make or model or manufacturer of these robots?
Yes, you've seen these before. You've seen them at least on a couple late night infomercials. That's what I spend all night watching, so that makes sense.
Infomercials
for maintenance robots, etc. Well, because you're tired of doing all this work, right?
Yeah. I've been trying to get them to let me, order one for the ship, but apparently I just had to repurpose our own assassin, and that's the best I could get.
Yep. Well, that previously wasn't within the budget, Anyway, they are, you don't remember the exact specifications, but you do recall the name. It was very funny. They're called Bon Heads.
Guys, you'll never believe what these little guys are called.
What are they called?
You'll never believe it. Is there anything else? You're
not going to tell us what they're called?
I just said you never believe it.
Because we wouldn't believe it.
You wouldn't believe it.
So why bother?
I would very much like to know my good friend Cliffy.
I think they're called boneheads or something.
I knew it.
Yeah. There is also a single palm tree that's kind of sets the center of the room. It's surrounded by benches, by the way.
I look around and I see the maintenance closet, and I think that's probably got some. I'm trying to refill my recently emptied toolbox. I guess a bit of a scatterbrain. Don't have nearly as many tools as I used to back in the day. So I would go to the maintenance
You left
closet.
them on board the Eureka.
Well, no, I didn't have many. I brought all 2 tools that I had left with me. I don't know what happened to the rest of them.
Well,
Do you have a pizza cutter?
Your plasma cutter perished on the Eureka.
I want to head to the maintenance only door and see if there's any good tools over there.
It is unfortunately locked with a key card, and if you try the one that was given to Beatrice, it does not work. It requires maintenance staff, whereas the receptionist, whose name you never even asked for, by the way,
I did think about it. I did think about it for what it's worth. Probably not any points.
I feel that we have 2 options here, fellas. We can either pick one of the droid things up and wave it in front of the closet and see if it has the key on it. Or, and this is my preferred option,
I knew
I
it.
can shoot the keypad.
Ooh, definitely that one.
All right, I shoot the keypad.
All right. This comes out maximum strength blast, absolutely blows the keypad completely off of the wall. There's just some now sparking wires and such electronic components left behind. The door does not budge.
All right,
and now the keypad is broken.
Yes.
Maybe I should have shot the handle instead.
They punch through
There is no handle. It's an automatic door.
Are there hinges? No, is it a sliding door?
No, it's a sliding automatic door. So
Was there a hole for the mechanisms of the keypad to go through and unlock the locking mechanism?
Not that you can see.
Okay, I reload to before Drool shot the thing off.
All right. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, we come back. So Drool is just about to shoot the keypad or the card reader.
I run in and I say, "No, do not shoot that."
I say, okay, so are we going with the wave the droid in front of the thing
Yes.
option then?
Yes, anything that's not shooting. Yes, please.
I don't know if I want to be on this crew anymore.
Do you have a choice? Where will you go?
I've detected a buzzkill in the immediate vicinity.
All right.
Ignoring the snide comment.
All right. So we're going up and picking up one of the bond heads.
Yes.
It says, "Hello there. How can I help?" Ah!
Come here, you!
What is going on? Whoa.
Do me a favor, unlock this door, my friend.
But why I shouldn't? I'm not supposed to. It's not.
Beatrice,
Shake him
show him your
harder.
clearance.
I can't. Ah!
I
No, please. I'm physically incapable of doing this.
I show both the staff ID card and the ambassador ID card, and I say, "Hi, I'm one of the staff ambassadors at the Aquarium."
We have a so what now, huh? Well, listen, if you're part of the staff, can someone put me down, please?
Don't put him down.
Ah!
Shake him in front of the door.
Shake him over the door.
You shake the robot in front of the door. It does not respond.
Alright, fine. I put him down. Now, my friend, can you please tell us how we can get this door open? We require the tools inside.
Okay. Listen, if you want that, you'll have to go find one of the robots that's part of a maintenance staff. I think I saw one of them go to the staff break area earlier.
Is there any way we can identify him from the other robots?
No.
Alright.
We all look exactly the same.
Alright, crew, let's go and
How do you tell
shake
each other
their
apart?
hands.
Is there
Internal
like
IDs.
is there a way to give
To make the
Scan for
internal external?
IDs.
I mean, you could ask them for the name, but it's current. But last I
not very
checked, we're
good at that.
manufactured with 37-digit IDs. Can you remember that many?
WD-40, can you remember that many digits?
I assume so.
I assume
Boom.
so.
Give him the ID and
Alright.
we'll identify this person. Robot.
He lists off a 37-digit binary number to you.
Is there only one?
How successfully do I remember?
That's just the only one that I know.
You're not very helpful.
You're very
I'm trying
helpful.
my best.
You're very helpful. Thank you.
Drool, can you please stop giving this poor robot a hard time? I say as I bear hugged him like 5 seconds ago.
He runs away with a very sad expression.
Big cupped
Well, I'd call
hands
that
waving in the air over his head.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, WD-40, you go find this maintenance robot so we can open the door. Meanwhile, we will find another way to so we can find another ship or communications device so that we can get out of here.
So another robot who was just kind of watching the spectacle, because they're all just kind of milling about, goes kind of nervously, says, I think you scared him too much for him to mention it, but the break room is accessed through a hidden door and that palm tree in the center of the room.
A door.
Please
in
stay
the
away
palm
from me.
tree?
That's very
aquarium
helpful.
is
Thank
this?
you.
It's an acronym.
What?
Wait.
I mean, there's large tanks of water with a whole bunch of different things in them all around.
Okay, wait. Did you just say that aquarium is an acronym?
Yes.
What is it?
It stands for
for?
Aquatic Quandaries Under Advanced Robotic Investigation Underwater Museum.
Okay, so it is basically still an aquarium. So there's not that much that's exciting.
Wait, no, rewind. What do you mean
underwater
robotic
place?
investigation?
Well, we're robots, and we're investigating these things, and we're displaying it also as a form of a tourist attraction in a museum.
So what?
What are you investigating them for?
Okay,
Yeah.
I said we're getting hung up way too much on this. I said, like,
I think we're
very
just-
well.
I think we're-
Let's
That's
move
classified.
It's obviously
point my
not that
blaster at him.
classified if it's in the name of the museum.
True. I point my blaster at him and I say, "How classified?"
Meanwhile,
Meep,
Cliffy,
he runs away.
Cliffy has been, while this has been happening, Cliffy, who loves a puzzle, has been poking around at the tree to find this secret door. Is it the sort of thing where it's just like you kind of poke around and
Yeah.
it
You
just
find you find kind of a little protrusion in some of the tree that actually looks like you could swipe a card key there.
Now, important question. Are there any large coconuts looming overhead that we should maybe not walk under?
There is, in fact, one positioned directly over where you're currently standing, basically where the door area, or the key card slot, rather, is on this palm tree.
If this is
Permission
a
to
fake palm
shoot
Take
it
a
tree,
step
away.
back.
if this is a fake palm tree, that'll all be a fake coconut, so it probably won't fall and kill us.
I would like to blast it just to be safe.
All right, you blast it, and it falls with it goes flying off and actually shatters a nearby window, and you hear a servbot going ah! or one of the servant robots just screaming, as well as just some kind of mechanical braking sounds.
I should have just
I
poked
think
at it
that
with my
went
stick
perfectly
in
well.
hindsight.
Yeah, so you've presumably just crushed a robot in some other
sounded
area
like
under
he got
construction.
We'll expense it to StarCon.
All right, so you swipe the key card, and whoop, another automatic door kind of slides around in sort of a circular fashion to reveal a rather small, cramped elevator.
about how many people
We all
could
jam
fit
in
in
at
this
once.
It will fit. It will fit. Well, all right. Yeah. You can. You by cartoon logic, you can squeeze everyone in there at once.
I do
I'm loving
exactly
the mental
that.
picture of
Is
this.
WD-40 still with us, or did she leave to find a different droid?
I think
No, this
they
is the
went
way to the
to
staff
go to the
room.
break room, but this is the way.
Yeah, I
to
feel
get
like
there, so.
Okay.
yeah. For the most part, I'm trying to just keep everybody together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we all down in the break room, the door kind of slides open, and the whole party's just kind of. You're all kind of stuck, and but you manage to pull yourselves out. You all go tumbling down to the floor.
As we were in the elevator, all scrunched up together, I subtly reflect on and say out loud to the crew, for all the trouble we've had, I'm glad we're hanging out more. And then the door opens, we fall out.
And then, due to all of the squeezing, the whoopee cushion gets triggered.
So yeah, so you're not sure. Everyone's just confused as to why everyone is like, "Oh gosh, not now."
Not now. Not in an elevator.
So you emerge into the break room. It's well furnished. There are 2 couches situated along the left wall, a table surrounded by chairs, which appear to be bolted down for some reason. You're not sure why. And they've all
met
have a different
adventure
seat
gamers.
design. Yeah. And they sitting atop the table is a small cage containing what appears to be a sleeping hamster. Next to it, there is a bowl of wax fruit. Along the far right walls is a small kitchen countertop, complete with a few cupboards, a sink, a stove, a microwave, and a refrigerator stocked with GameCola products. And in another corner is what appears to be a work desk with a terminal and microphone on it.
I go to the microwave and I put my frozen hot dog in and I heat it up.
I take some of the wax fruit as a decoy for later.
All right. You get wax fruit.
I search the couch cushions for any loose buckazoids.
You find 1 buckazoid.
Woohoo!
I take the rolling chair that always accompanies any desk with a computer terminal on it. I sit down, roll myself over to the terminal and have a look and see what's on it.
Currently, it is indicating that there is a with another swipe of a staff key card, you can access the inventory system, just listing the current exhibits on display, or the PA system.
Well, I mean, I take a quick hook into the PA system and it'd say,
Never gonna
"Attention,
give you up.
all aquarium employees, go home."
Cliffy, you're not a licensed communication specialist. Get away from there.
Did you like my accent?
Actually,
I've been practicing non-Scottish accents.
actually, Cliffy, while you're there, can you call the robot that we were looking for?
Oh, that's a good point. What was the that number again?
I relay the number.
I say the number that was relayed to me, and then I say,
2 hours
Please
later,
make-
Cliffy fully says the number.
Yeah.
"Please make your way to the break room." This has just become Tony. It's me, Tony. Like, it's just this.
Well, I mean, that was my other thought of what Cliffy might sound like, if not
I think this
Scottish,
is just
then,
what
like,
Cliffy's
Jersey.
gonna have to sound like now.
Yeah.
We're
It's just
retconning
fine.
halfway through the story. It feels that's something
Yeah.
Space Quest might do. I can do Tony. Tony, I can do.
Tony.
All right. You you wait for a bit, and you hear the elevator rise up. You kind of hear the machinery comes up, comes down, and a robot that looks exactly like all of the other ones emerges, and it goes. It just kind of looks around, and looks at you, and it goes, "Who are you?"
I flash my ambassador ID card and the staff ID card, and I say, "Hi, I'm the Aquarium staff ambassador. I just wanted to introduce myself and say hello and thank you for your work here. We need to access the maintenance room and understand that you can do that."
I could do that.
All right, lead the way.
What do you need? What? Whoa,
I scoop him up into my arms, and then we all crowd into the elevator again.
Well, wait, just real quick. While that was happening, while we were waiting for the robot, I did have a quick search through to see if there was anything super interesting in the aquarium exhibits on that computer.
You see actually that there are 2 exhibits listed as spaceship.
Ooh.
I take a very strong mental note of that.
Yeah, one is classified as the USS Normandy, and the other is classified as the S.C.S. Dyson.
I was a big fan
Roger.
of the word Normandy.
Roger, I believe I know both of those ships, and
Is there one that's friendly?
yeah, one of them belongs to StarCon and has been missing for a while.
Awesome.
Yep. Believe it or not, Roger, you actually heard the rumors about this one when you were getting assigned to your current ship. It was considered, I guess you could say, bad luck to be assigned to one of these garbage scows. They're formerly known as the Hoover class of spaceships. There are actually 3 of them: the Eureka, the Kirby, and the Dyson.
So what you're saying is I can boss them around.
The ships?
And their crew.
Well, I mean, the ship is currently listed as one of the exhibits in one of the tanks. So
I've seen
If
enough
there's-
alien collector movies for it to not be entirely out of the question that the crew is still on this ship. But we should probably follow
that
this
is-
plot thread, this robot that has been picked up by Beatrice, and
yeah,
continue this plot
who's
thread.
who's currently squirming very violently.
Did the computer tell me like where in? Did it give like a map of it, or did it just have a list?
Yes, it gives you the exact tank number that it is in.
We will address that later. Let us continue down this current plot thread of the robot currently in Beatrice's arms.
Thank you for breaking the fourth wall, Cliffy. Always appreciate it.
I was not doing a voice. That was not a character. If I say it like this, then it's in character. Then I'm breaking the fourth wall.
Sorry, it's hard to tell with your many accent changes.
All right. So are we all piling back into the elevator?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Let's go.
So we you kind of there's a lot of like crunching. You dent the robot that you're holding slightly because of how tightly you're packed in there. And you
We can buff that
as you
out.
arrive. What's that?
We can buff that out.
He goes.
Why are the robots here such wimps? I say out loud.
So far, half of this adventure quest has just been us terrorizing these robots.
I'm ashamed of my brethren.
Or trying to decide what to order at a refreshment stand.
That was gonna happen either way.
Yeah, as you return to the main area of Aquarium, you see two figures dressed in black with silver helmets forcing their way onto the premises.
Forcing their way in what way?
Yeah.
As in basically smacking the receptionist on the head with the butt of what appears to be a plasma rifle, knocking her out cold, and basically begins examining the surroundings. Roger, you recognize these beings. They're sequel policemen from Space Quest 12.
No. I hate these guys. Follow me everywhere.
So they do not seem to have noticed you yet, although considering that you're all basically currently like just stuffed into an elevator, maybe they're not really looking in that particular. They're not exactly. It's not quite facing towards the entrance to the area.
Regardless,
Roger.
I hit the elevator button again, and we head back down.
The robot goes, "Ow, my legs!"
Roger, those guys look like tough customers.
I can't tell you exactly what they're from, but I know they are bad news. We have to avoid them as much as possible.
Well, it looks like we're in need of one of these classic Cliffy distractions. I'm gonna try to forego if I explain my plan, then it won't work in the next scene, and say that I tell the group what I do in the next scene, which is I'm going to shake my anti-diet lemonade really, really, really hard.
All right.
And then when we get to the top of the elevator, I'm going to like just chuck it sort of behind wherever they're standing, with the idea that it might explode and distract them enough for us to make an escape to the staff door. I'm assuming that, like, because this was like a big open thing, so we can't just like walk to the door. We can't like sneak. There's nothing to hide behind, so we need
Correct.
a distraction.
Yeah, it's a relatively open area. I mean, yeah, you would probably need some way of distracting them.
Beatrice noticed Roger's face change when he saw these two goons, and she asks, "Roger, how well do you know those two characters?"
I flash back in back of my mind, getting vaporized by them and reloading the game many, many, many times. And
are they after you? Is there something you did, or do they not?
I snap back to reality, and I touch Beatrice by the shoulder and be like, "I know them all too well."
They're here for you.
Not necessarily.
Not for us.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
It is a high probability they are here for me. But I will say, they are a threat to SpaceCom.
We do
without
have
a doubt in my
Starcom?
mind. Starcom, yes.
We do have unless there's a convention being held here, we do have a PA system, and if they're looking for someone specific, maybe we could do a misdirection?
I like the way you think, Beatrice. We head on over to the PA system, and I hit the button. And I do a fake voice, saying,
You sound like Cliffy.
Yeah. That's a great idea. Would the fine gentleman with the blonde-haired red captain spacesuit, would you please report to the 12th floor of the aquarium, please? And then I unplug the PA system.
Any of the robots who are currently milling about in the aquarium are confused because there's really only one floor.
All right.
Well,
It is
let's
a-
hope
it is
they
a very
don't know
large
that.
floor.
We,
Just one.
we go up the elevator. I have my shaken up
I'm
anti-diluminated gear
I'm with your plan here.
ready. I have
we
it
can
ready
try
to
out
go.
your. Yeah.
If they're still there, I have it ready to go. But if the PA system
Right.
worked, then I will just have this extremely volatile lemonade can in my inventory.
Yep. So, all right. So, are you all heading up the elevator or just Cliffy?
I think
Yeah,
we should
what is
all
the
go.
plan that we all go and then you do the distraction, then we run? Is that the plan?
So the plan, there's two eventualities of the plan. One is that the PA thing worked and they're not there anymore. Plan B, if they are there, is I'm going to chuck this lemonade over into a corner away from us. It's going to explode, distract them, and then we run over to the door and get the little robot to open it.
Works for
I
me.
like this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it.
All right. All right.
Let's
So
do it.
you're all going up at once. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So the elevator doors open. You scan around quickly and see that you only see one of the sequel policemen. The other one has gone off somewhere, perhaps to investigate the PA announcement that you made. But the other one is currently just sort of milling about. So as you chuck the bottle of anti-diet yellow aid, you start to hear a very faint hissing. And the sequel policeman looks around. He's not sure. He thought he heard something clatter around, but he's not quite sure. He just hears this hissing that's getting louder and louder and louder and louder. And suddenly there's a huge explosion of yellow fizzy liquid that absolutely knocks him back. And he actually stumbles and whacks his head on one of the tank walls and just kind of slumps over.
Does the head pop off?
It does pop off, actually. His head completely pops off, and you see that he is in fact a cyborg.
Good work, Cliffy. And then we rush on over to the maintenance closet.
All right, so you get over to the maintenance room. Are we asking the robot that you're holding to open it for you, or are we just shaking them violently in front of the sensor?
I say,
nicely
would
for
you
a
mind
change."
opening the door, please?
Oh, okay. And he kind of he inserts his sort of claw-shaped hand into the card reader and swipes it down. At which point, beep beep, the door slides open.
All right, let's go on in.
We go in.
Do I have to keep coming with you? You seem like you're inviting trouble.
You're free to go, my good man.
Okay, thanks with whatever you're doing. Please don't hurt
appreciate-
any more of us.
You appreciate
Oh,
it.
and
by the way,
it
you
probably
might want to check on the receptionist.
That's gonna be hard. One of my legs is dislocated.
I take my
Let me
wrench
pop it
and
up.
I give it a good like crank, crank, crank.
Okay, thank you. I'll go check on her.
Now, as soon as we get through the door into the maintenance room, I turn to Flo and I say, Flo, you still have that med kit, right?
Yeah, I got it. What do you need?
We might want to take a look at that receptionist and see if she needs help.
All right, yeah, I'll go out and check on her.
All right. So Flo's heading out to check. The sequel policeman is just still coated in a layer of yellow, sticky, carbonated, sugary liquid.
Yeah.
He appears to be unconscious still.
And I say, you all go on ahead. I'll catch up with you. I'm gonna go steal that guy's head, just in case it
That's right. Yes, his head
starts
popped
talking.
off.
So I carefully sneak around, keeping an eye out for the other sequel policeman.
Yep.
Don't slip on the lemonade.
Yeah.
I don't think you can.
And I have my self-defense
Sound.
I have my
Don't trip on
self-defense
his
taser in
head.
hand as I sneak.
All right. Does not seem to react as you approach. Are you actually inspecting what's around him, or like his body,
Yeah,
etc.?
Yeah,
Roll for
I'm
stealth.
taking a closer look at the body, and I want to pick up the
Alright.
head.
Okay, so you he's wearing basically like a kind of a utility belt, which is for holstering his blaster, and has another pouch on it, which has some stuff inside. There's 2 sticks of bubble gum. And a picture of Roger, but it's his pixelated sprite from Space Quest 2.
Excellent. I take
So his-
take all.
All right, you take all. You try and if you try and are you taking his plasma rifle as well? By the way,
I look closely at the plasma rifle. Does it look like it's something I can operate? Like, is it attached to him?
It's got a trigger, doesn't it?
It is not attached to him. However, if you try and like use it, like turning any pressing a button on it, pulling the trigger doesn't seem to do anything. It looks like if you look really closely, there's some kind of scanner on the trigger mechanism.
I take the rifle. No, I leave everything there for the moment, but I do take the head along.
Okay.
On a scale of toaster to best man at my wedding, how human fleshy is the hand of this cyborg?
It is closer to toaster.
Like, if I were to say
T800?
remove a finger, would that be a particularly gruesome affair?
Yes, there are still
Alright.
there's still bits of like it is mostly cybernetic, but there is still like some organic material. Like this
Yeah, okay.
this Roger, depending on how much lore he was paying attention to during Space Quest 4 or Space Quest 12, I guess, would know that these are like partially or at least used to be human in some capacity. But their minds have been completely, basically erased and turned into mindless drones.
Beatrice, who doesn't know any of
Cliffy,
this, tosses the head to Cliffy and says, "Cliffy, catch."
Cliffy catches the head, gives it a look over, notices the sort of like biology component to this whole thing. He says, darn it. I'm an engineer, not a doctor.
You get 10 points.
So
Apparently, 50% of these points have been Star Trek references.
I go out and I use the med kit on the receptionist.
All right, you apply.
Yeah, make sure that she's
basic.
doing all right.
Yeah. All right. She's just basically got kind of a big bruise on her head.
Ask her name. Ask her name.
Oh yeah, I look at her name tag.
It says Mary Sue.
Oh, okay.
I would have laughed if she was also named Buxton Freem.
Buxton Freem.
Mary Sue Buxton Freem.
I would like to say I am still in the maintenance closet, and we have yet to examine it or get anything from it.
Yeah. By the way, just for clarification, by the way, this is not a closet. You have been under that incorrect assumption. This is a room.
I could have sworn you said closet earlier.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I think I may have said closet. I think I may have said closet.
Somebody other than me did go on, and I didn't want to derail things by correcting every individual thing. So, but we're here now. You can see that it is not, unfortunately, Roger, a closet. So also, Flo, you patch her up. She's basically just got a big bruise on her head. She spilled her super chill drink, unfortunately.
Oh, that's a shame.
But she kind of wakes up and she's like, okay, ow. Have you taken care of those guys? They looked like they meant business.
We took care of him.
Yeah. Well, one of them lost the head.
Great. I feel like I'm about to lose mine. Listen, I'm just gonna stay here. All right. I think I'll be fine. Go there. Just take care of them, please, if you don't mind.
Any idea why they're here?
Your guess is as good as mine. I've never seen them before. They just kind of appeared in these two little weird pods that appeared, and she points to these two kind of sort of horizontal pod-looking things with these big dark tinted glass canopies. She's like, they literally appeared out of thin air.
Not to derail the maintenance closet too much there, and I know it's not a closet, but that looks like potentially transportation.
Roger would know if you relay this information to Roger. He could probably tell you a bit more about those.
Hey,
things.
Roger, it looks like those goons left us some ships to get out of here. Or at least for some of us to get out of here and go get help.
Not unless you want to end up in Space Quest 12, my good man.
I really, really do not know what that means, Roger. You say some pretty wild stuff sometimes, but I gotta admit, I can't even parse that one.
I
That's how we feel about your accent.
Beatrice walks into the room a little late, looks around, and says, "Wow, what a spacious maintenance closet."
The two robots sitting at the control panel turn and look at you and say, "It's a what now?"
Traditionally,
hello
a
there.
closet that resembles a room is called a walk-in closet.
Oh.
I've never been so offended to hear my workplace called something before.
What
do these
exactly
robots
what
look
exactly
like?
do you guys do here?
They look exactly like all the other robots.
Oh, okay.
So they're sitting at this console and they're just kind of they're supposed to be manning it, but really they're just kind of staring blankly at the gauges and buttons and readouts and flashing lights in front of them.
so what I
They
do on
aren't
the
really
ship.
doing much. Yes.
Can any of you boys hail us a cab?
A what?
A space cab, excuse me.
Mm.
Oh yeah, now I know.
Sorry, wasn't familiar with your lexicon there.
A space Pinot will do too.
Space bus also, probably.
Unfortunately, no. We've all just kind of been, dropped off here. So there's not really anybody in the general vicinity, because, the place doesn't open for another 2 months. Nobody really comes by.
How long have you been working here?
About 3 weeks.
That's honestly not as bad as I thought.
I take a step back. Realizing there's no other way off other than using the time machine in ships outside. I'm like, oh no.
I mean, you did just see Cliffy, I assume. Now, did you just make a note of the thing that you saw in the register of the exhibits?
No,
did you
we
relay
talked
that
about it.
information?
We talked about it.
So Cliffy saw in the logs, the manifest, basically, of what things are in Aquarium, that there is an exhibit of a ship that is basically the sister ship to the Eureka, which has been long lost.
But it's underwater, isn't it?
Just dry it off.
Presumably, yes.
Okay, yeah, sure, dry it off. I would really like to, since I'm confronted with a panel of lights and buttons, I really just can't resist, and I do my best to push every single button.
All right. Some loud music starts playing, and a disco ball drops down from the ceiling.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you.
So yes, there's some loud music. The robots just start uncontrollably dancing to the music. They get up from their chairs and they just start dancing around.
Does this while this is happening, does this room have any other exits?
Yes, it does. There are, in addition, obviously you came in through the door that's basically behind you. There is there are 3 doors directly in front of you. There's basically a big control panel on the right, and then there's 3 doors directly in front of you, all of which basically say staff only in like 3 or 4 different languages. And then there is, basically just the big control panel that these robots are doing, and then of course the groovin' music. Oh, there is actually a small door to the on the left wall that says broom closet.
The actual maintenance closet.
Yes, there's a closet in the closet.
Cliffy, look around, see if you can find any tools you need.
I'm like, the door is open when Roger said, and I turned back. I'm like, what was that? And then I go back and continue looking for the tools in the closet.
So there is, in fact, the only thing in this closet is a very large, which is to say slightly larger than any of you, red and orange suit of something that looks like armor. Has very large shoulder pads.
I give it is it like on like a mount or something?
No, it's just kind of standing there. There's a little bit of writing on someone's taken a marker and written something on like the on the sort of left side of the torso area.
What does it say?
It says, the handwriting's really bad. Property of someone named Matt Royd.
Is there a high school nearby?
No, fortunately not.
I give it kind of a push and a jiggle to sort of see like how heavy is this? Like, is it something that I could even begin to consider moving?
It's as you start jiggling, it sort of starts leaning towards you, and starts tipping over slowly.
I quickly step out of the closet, close the door, and make sure that the door handle, clicks so that it's closed.
You hear like a thud just against the door.
Cliffy, what the hell was that?
Oh, I just tossed in some trash that I've been carrying around in there. We don't need that weighing us down anymore. What's in these other doors over here? Where's our staff ambassador?
That was awfully loud.
Probably opened one of these, right?
I start swiping cards left and right.
All right. So you open they're three doors. They look identical. They have just general maintenance workers only, staff only, in a bunch of different languages. So are you trying to open any in particular?
Let's just go down the line.
D, all of the above.
Actually, before we do that, I ask one of the bond heads, can you tell us what's in these closets?
Yeah, those lead to the maintenance section for the tanks.
Okay.
So those are for maintenance work inside some of the tanks.
Very good. Do you know which one leads to the Normandy or the Dyson that are on display?
Shoot, and then one of them turns to its partner and it suddenly starts rattling off a long list of numbers. Do you remember what was in the which is presumably his name? Do you remember which one because there was the two ships, and then there's what was in the third one? I forget what was in the third one. I don't remember. I think two of them. There's spaceships in two of them. I forget what's in the third.
Don't tell me. We'll pick a door, and then you'll open one of them to reveal whether that it has a goat behind it, and then we open the other one, and it has the spaceship. Is that how it works?
Mister, did you hit your head or something?
No, I just watch a lot of late night programming.
Okay. I mean, our operators do a lot of late night programming, but that's different, I think. Anyway, just try any of them that you like. Just go in there. Let me think about this. How would that work? Well, I mean, if you want, I don't really recommend going in there, but if you want to, just go in and push the button inside. It's basically like a small little room.
Push past everyone to go inside and push the button.
All right, you go in there. You open, let's say, the door in the middle. You push the button. The door shuts behind you, and then a door in front of you opens up, flooding the room with water.
Can Joe breathe water?
I perish.
Well, I mean,
yes,
you have no
perish.
mouth.
It's our no. The water gets in Drool's eyes, and he's very sensitive.
I start to cry, but you can't tell because there's water everywhere.
Because it's all full of water. All right, so rewind.
Reload.
So those are, as it would seem. So you Roger presumably hears just a scream and a rush of water inside the door.
I'm surprised Drool didn't try to shoot the water. The one time nobody would have stopped him.
I open the door real quick, pull Drool back in, and then close the door before only a small leakage of water
Okay.
comes
The robots recoil. They're like, what We warned you. We said you really probably don't want to go in there without some way to, like, breathe.
I take out the oxygen mask from my inventory.
Good thinking.
Or could we drain the tanks?
Back because that's not my problem with water.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really know how to do that. They specifically didn't train us how to empty the tanks because they were worried that we would ruin the priceless stuff inside.
Have you tried drinking?
You're already
water?
ruing the priceless stuff inside by covering it in water. Do you have any idea what water does to things?
Most of the stuff inside the tanks, mind you, is aquatic life.
Okay, but the thing that we want is machinery.
As these two are arguing, I put on my oxygen mask and enter one of the doors.
All right. So you put on your oxygen mask and so you push the button. Whoosh, it's filled with water. It opens up. Which door did you enter? 1, 2, or 3? Just give me a number.
Let's say 2 for consistency's sake.
2. All right. So you, through your oxygen mask, can see an old derelict ship, what appears to be. Inside the tank, it's quite worse for wear from a structural standpoint. The hull is basically covered in coral, and swishing back and forth in front of a convenient hole in its bow is a large autonomous tentacle, which appears to stand upright on the sandy floor of the tank.
I raise my eyebrows in complete surprise as I'm not sure or how to deal with the situation. What the heck?
What does the ship look like?
I don't have a great description of it because it's basically kind of falling apart. However, on part of the hull, you do see a marker, USS something. The rest is eroded away.
I take out the stick from my inventory and start poking at the tentacle with it.
The tentacle recoils and slaps you in the face.
I think that's a reasonable response. If this ship is basically fried,
but it's out of the way. But it's out of the way now, isn't it?
And you hear just kind of a, which like despite being underwater, you feel like could potentially be translated if you had a means to do so.
If only.
I swim back. I swim back and open up
It coils up the tip of its tentacle into what's kind of like a fist and shakes it at you.
I'm still outside. I'm trying to convince the refreshment stand guy that the soda blew up in my hand and that I need a replacement.
I swim back.
He looks over and he's like, you know they do that if you shake them, right?
Well, I didn't shake it.
I turn on my communicator and I say, Flo, get over here. We need your translator.
Fine. I go back inside. I give up.
All right.
Since I've spent apparently the last 15
so Roger's
minutes.
come back. Yep. So Roger, you're now soaking wet.
Refreshing.
Yep. So, by the way, Beatrice, if you were to perhaps glance at the head of this sequel policeman, you might notice that it actually appears to have what might be a rebreather on its face.
Oh, Cliffy, I see that you're still carrying around this head that I gave you. Perhaps we could...
I figured it'd be rude to just drop it somewhere, you know? To both you and the head.
Cliffy, I'm very glad...
to be honest, if you want it back, you can have it.
Cliffy, I'm
actually,
very glad you
just
haven't lost
part
your
of
head
it,
in all
please.
What was that? People were too busy making jokes at my expense for me to hear.
Just part of it, please.
A particular part? Like...
Got your nose.
Rebreather mask. Well, close enough.
Okay. I see it. I see it now. And I pick up I take my very large screwdriver and go, and I assume it's mechanically attached to his face because he is in fact a cyborg. And then I hand it to Beatrice. I don't want to go swimming.
I can't help but notice that Cliffy's accent is becoming Flo's accent.
They spent a lot of time together on the ship.
Yeah.
All right, so Roger, what did you see in there?
So I saw in there, there was basically, the ship is in complete disarray, but I saw a singular tentacle coming in and out of the ship, and as I tried to make contact with it with an apparatus, to say the least, he slapped me in the face and said something, but I need the translator to actually talk to him.
Should we not check what's behind the other doors to see if there's one that might have a more useful ship?
That is also an option.
And then we can always come back to this one that has mumbly noises, since we've got 2 people that can breathe now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, presumably one of them is going to be me.
Roger, would you like to go together?
To translate?
Flo, you check door number 1, and Drool, for complete comedic purposes, you check door number 3.
I'm going to require your oxygen mask.
Yeah, I hand the rebreather over to Drool. I say, let's not send anybody in. Let's not send anybody in without proper equipment. We have to assume everything's going to be flooded.
Yes,
agreed.
And then I hand Flo my oxygen mask.
Okay, so Flo's going into tank 2. What's that?
Yeah,
1 and 3.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going in
1
3.
and 3. Okay.
I don't know what
so
order
we previously
we
checked 2. We're going in 1 and 3. All right. So number 3 with Drool, real quick. You enter this tank. This tank is empty, save for one lone creature. What appears to be a water buffalo. It doesn't seem to notice your presence, or perhaps it simply doesn't care. Otherwise, there's nothing of interest.
Is it in the water?
Yes, it is completely underwater.
Does anybody have a utility belt?
You have a utility belt, Beatrice.
Do I? It's not explicitly mentioned.
I mentioned that the sequel policeman was carrying it, and you said you collected all.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't write that down.
I'm sorry. Maybe I did not mention it clearly enough. But yes, he has a utility belt, which also has a holster and a pouch with the other things I mentioned.
Well, that's fantastic. I eagerly await Drool's return. Not having absolutely no concept of what's on the other side of that door, but just getting the utility belt ready to hand over.
Mm-hmm.
Am I separated from this water buffalo by a pane of glass?
No, you are in the tank basically. That was basically an airlock that puts you in the tank. So
okay,
is just an idea. So
are water buffalo violent creatures?
Are they silent creatures?
Violent?
Yes, as far as I know. It's standing motionless. It's just standing motionless in the bottom of the
violent.
Oh, violent. I'm sorry. No, generally not. I mean, unless you provoke it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think everybody would have a water buffalo if they were particularly violent. Regardless if they're fast or slow.
Stop it.
No, there was a trend at one point, but I think they moved on to baby kangaroos.
All right.
This is the last reference
I would like to try to.
I would like to roll to tame the water buffalo, please.
You do a flip in the water.
What are you rolling? There's no dice in this game.
What is the benefit of this?
There is for taming.
Usually you have to play a Jenga minigame for that.
Yeah.
So, and also for your reference, you might think that it is like, either dead or taxidermied, but it is in fact alive. It does occasionally blink and look around, apparently unfazed by its
I know exactly what I need to do. Okay, I swim up to the water buffalo, cautiously, with one hand outstretched under the vague assumption that it's going to want to sniff me. Mm-hmm. Whether or not it tries to sniff me, I pull the warm hot dog out of my pocket and offer it to the water buffalo.
Which is so you're offering the hot dog to the water buffalo.
The hot dog, which is, remember, no longer frozen.
But is now quickly cooling down, being inside a tank full of water.
That's okay.
And also,
the same temperature as the water buffalo.
Okay,
water buffalo like a ruminant, like a vegetarian.
it does not appear particularly interested in consuming this piece of meat, if you can even call it that.
A+ for the thought, though.
What's going on in Beatrice's tank?
Beatrice is not going into any tank right now.
Yeah, I'm in there.
Flo. So you...
Or Flo, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, so Flo is going into tank number 1. Next time on the GameCola Adventurecast, the crew attempts to befriend the tentacle. Roger helps Cliffy abuse the mechanics of the universe, and the adventure finally comes to an end. Be there!